7:30. And they come at 7:30 and tables are still being arranged and somebody says, no, I don't want it like that. Do it this way. No, I like it the other way. What's the impression that the guests would have?
That the meeting would be just as chaotic as the rest of it.
So that is so important, that the sergeant at arms would take his job seriously. That when the guest comes in, everything is all set. Arrangement meets speaker's needs. When somebody comes to the club, very often they say, oh, I don't feel like coming. And arrangements are met, and then they're told, the speaker number 1 canceled, speaker number 2 canceled. What is the first impression of the guest as well? Okay.
There's no commitment.
After the meeting is over, guests invited, and include them in the conversation. That's also important because they want to feel that they're welcome. However, don't push them. If they say, no, thank you, don't say, okay, you can do it, come on, you can do it. That's intimidating, so that too you have to be sensitive. Next one. New members orientation. Is it very important to do induction of members and voting them in? Mm-hmm. You bet. Because they will know that they're wanted there. And I'll touch on that later, why that is so important. That's so much wisdom in Toastmasters to have that induction and voting the members in. Assignment of mentor, is that important? Mm-hmm. Very, very important. There's 2 ways of doing it. I like the way to say, if a new member comes in, I want you to see who you can connect to, because then you can have that person as your mentor. Because if you decide you're going to be connected to Doug and you find him too quiet and too hard to get information from, what would your feeling be? No, I wish I had that friendly lady. So give the new members a choice. Who would you like to be your mentor? If you can't decide tonight, maybe you can tell me after the 3rd or 4th meeting, but don't wait that long, okay? But make sure you ask them. So that is very, very important. Education program and recognition system. Is education program important?
Very.
Very important. Because as area governor, I have noticed as soon as the member achieves their 10th speech, they feel they have arrived. And they don't show up anymore. Yes. And that makes the club weak. And that makes it they're not coming back for the 2nd term. What else is happening if they don't realize that Toastmaster is not just to gain confidence to be in front, to be able to stand in front of a speaker? Because leadership is very important. In a lot of clubs I have noticed, members will only show up when they have a role as what?
On the agenda, the role on the agenda.
As a speaker. Very often if they're asked to be an evaluator or a joke master, they don't even show up. Because they feel, I come to be able to speak. So consequently, what do? They only show up when they get the role assigned to them as a speaker. And they will never come forward that way. Because you only will become a better speaker if you can become a better evaluator. Agree with that? Yes. So education is very important, and Moments of Truth is important because you have to tell them that Toastmasters run on 2 tracks. Education as well as leadership. Speaking assigned role, all that is important, but make sure you allow them to be involved in the meeting. Give them little jobs like timer. And don't just say, okay, it's your turn to do the timer. That's intimidating. Get somebody to be their mentor right there. Help them. Now there's 2 kinds of people too. One that would like to do it and just have somebody to guide them, and one that would say what?
You do it and I'll watch.
Exactly. So be sensitive about the members' need. Next one, please. Fellowship. You're all familiar with that. Guest greeted warmly, we already did that. And make the education session fun. Don't just say, okay, be quiet all of you and this is what I'm going to say. No, get members' involvement. Regularly scheduled social events. Is that important?
Yes.
Absolutely. make sure you have good food. Right, Hattie? Yes. And if you need cakes, you know who to call for.
Patty.
Hattie. His wife is terrific. So the way to a man's heart is through.
Start.
Exactly. So when you have social events, make sure the food is good, but also have a good program. Members participate in area district. Is that important?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because I thought Toastmaster, yeah, just being able to speak in front of people. My first thought was, I'm not interested to be a speaker. So I just went there for the dates. True. So then when he brought me to the first conference, my eyes were just like, wow. Why? Because the keynote speaker said, I owe my life to Toastmasters. What does that tell you? I am what I am because of Toastmasters. Both speakers said that. I said, whoa, I better listen. So that is really important. Now, I have gone to several corporate clubs, and guess what my biggest struggle is? They don't need that. They don't need sessions like this. And when they have ad session, they don't use the ad session from Toastmasters. They have their own corporate education session. And what happens to those clubs, Hattie?
Don't last long.
They don't last long. Now, when my husband became area governor last year, we lost one corporate club.
Two.
One.
Oh, one. Okay.
One. And we said, oh good, at least we have one more corporate club that is very strong.